Greetings, fellow anime gamers, and once again I'm coming at you with an exciting, off-topic video. Yes, welcome one and all to the segment Off-Topic Sundays, the time where we all get our PlayStation Vitas, put them safely back into our pockets, and just relax. However, to keep in contrast with the theme of the channel, I will be playing today, for your enjoyment, Gun Pixies, the PlayStation Vita game that is an exclusive to the system, as well as, sadly, a Japan-only release. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Ninja Turtles. I know it's kind of random, isn't it? Do you like Ninja Turtles, everyone? I like Ninja Turtles. Donatello is my favorite. Do you all like Donatello? He should be your favorite too, because he's my favorite, so you guys should choose him as a favorite too. I'm just saying. Alright, so where to begin with Ninja Turtles? A huge part of my childhood. In fact, to this day, I can't even believe that they're still around. They've basically become a part of pop culture, I guess, at this point, right? I never would have pictured that back in the day, and I kind of wonder, when it comes to pop culture, how long pop culture will actually even be around for. I mean, things like Star Wars and all these Marvel comics are popular now, but they haven't really been around all that long. Makes me wonder, if you were to go into the future, like even 200 years, how much relevancy they're still going to hold up. But anyway, I digress. I'm rambling again. But hey, you know, this is Off Topic Sundays. It's the segment where I'm supposed to ramble. So, going back again to my childhood, Ninja Turtles played a big part of it. I still remember the day. 1987. I got home from school. I put my backpack down, took off my shoes, put on my slippers, got a Lunchable pizza probably out of the fridge, sat down in front of the TV, and for the first time I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles playing on the TV. Oh my gosh! Well, actually, to be honest, I kind of don't even remember how I got into the Ninja Turtles, so I guess that was sort of a lie. Well, okay, to be fair, I'm pretty positive I did get into the Ninja Turtles around 1987, because that's when they hit American shores with the animated TV series from the 80s, which I absolutely love, like most kids in my era. Now, you have to keep in mind, I was a very wee little lad at the time, so a lot of my memories are probably a little bit on the fuzzy side. I remember, though, walking into Walgreens, which is sort of like a drugstore for those who aren't familiar with the place, you know, in case maybe you live outside the U.S., and I wanted Ninja Turtle toys. It's like I had to have them. It's kind of funny because, like I said, my memory's kind of foggy on the whole subject, so in my mind, it's like I just woke up one day and I automatically like Ninja Turtles. That's kind of how the way I feel. But I do specifically remember walking into Walgreens, and for the first time, right then and there, I saw it. I saw the toy that I wanted most. Not Donatello, it was actually Leonardo. But I was still kind of happy, because at that point, I had never owned a Ninja Turtle. Now, you got to keep in mind, too, back then, Ninja Turtles was like a huge phenomenon. If you remember the video I made back, what was it, 2 weeks ago, talking about Toys R Us and how huge Power Rangers were, kind of sort of similar to that. You could find maybe a few Ninja Turtle toys, but like the main cast of characters, you couldn't find like any of them. And I remember the really huge one that was hardest to find was Shredder, for some odd reason. And I'm not even really sure why, but for whatever reason, the first version of Shredder, because trust me, if you grew up with the Ninja Turtle toys back in the day, you'll know that there were tons and tons upon versions of the characters. I mean, oh my gosh, they went Ninja Turtle crazy trying to bank on that whole cash cow that it was at the time. There was Donatello, there was Undersea Water Michelangelo, there was Spaceman Raph, I think is what he was called. They had Surfin' Michelangelo, and yeah, they went Ninja Turtle crazy, where it just kind of sort of got ridiculous. They really milked that thing for all it was worth. But the first version of Shredder, I still remember, was for some odd reason the hardest to find back in the day. And I remember, I'm going to go back again to my childhood here, I had a friend named Sid, and he had most of the Ninja Turtles toys, which I was very jealous about. And I asked him one day, I said, do you happen to have a Shredder? And he said, yeah. And I can't remember why he was willing to give me up his Shredder. I think maybe he might have either had two, or maybe he just got tired of the toy and he just wanted to offload it. So he told me, yeah, dude, I'll go ahead and give you my Shredder. I mean, just give me, like, I think I gave him like maybe $6 for it, which was quite a bit. That was almost the price of the toy back then. And I thought, okay. However, foolish me, I gave him the $6 before he gave me the Shredder. Yeah, I'm sure you guys already can probably imagine where this is going. But then what's even crazier is that there's even more of a plot twist to it. At the time that I was going to buy that shredder from him, which I kind of sort of half did already because I gave him the money in advance and he was supposed to give me the toy the following Monday. During that weekend, I am not kidding you, I actually found a shredder at one of our local grocery stores. Yes, after waiting for so long and looking everywhere for it, I finally found it, and it was brand new, and it had all the accessories. I remember he came with like this actual kind of cloth cape, and it was made out of real cloth. And I thought to myself, ooh, I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and buy it because it's brand new out of the box. And then I'll just go ahead and ask him for my $6 back, and we'll just go from there. So I guess, again, you guys can kind of tell where this is going. Monday came, I walked into the door, and there he was with the shredder. And of course, it didn't come with the cloth cape. He had lost it, which, you know, is something I guess most of us kids do. We were all terrible at losing things. I could tell you some horror stories with my Inspector Gadget, but that's a time for another video. So I got into class. There he was playing with his shredder, and he says, "Oh, dude, here you go. Here's a shredder." And I told him, I kind of sort of found him, believe it or not, at a grocery store this past weekend. So I bought it. So could I just have the $6 back and we'll just, you know, cancel the agreement? And he's like, "Oh, no, sorry, man. I already spent the $6, but here's a shredder." Yeah, basically I was out $6. I mean, he did give me his shredder and all, but I mean, I didn't really need it at the time. And it was already, you know, the shredder was way more beaten up than my brand new one was, obviously. Although that didn't last for long because, trust me, I pretty much totally annihilated that thing. But yeah, that's just one of my sad stories of love, loss, and betrayal with Ninja Turtle toys. And tell me, do you guys think that was the only time he did that to me? Oh no, not at all. He did that to me a second time. I remember I wanted Outer Space Raphael. Yeah, he was literally like an astronaut. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's the coolest thing ever. So I paid him the money, and guess what? He said that he lost the figure and that he lost my money. And me, being a fool, I just kind of went like, oh, well, okay. So yeah, that dude just completely and totally ripped me off so much. I mean, it was like, he robbed me blind with that deal. I mean, the first deal was bad enough, but at least I actually got the toy. And the other time, he just made up an excuse like, oh, I lost the $6 and I lost the figure. Yeah, sure you did. He also used to tell me too, back in the day, the Ninja Turtle game for the NES, the second one, the arcade game, he used to tell me all kinds of stories. He said, oh yeah, did you know, dude, that if you tear off the label in the front and draw another character, you can actually play that character in the Nintendo game? And I bought it. Yeah, I was kind of a gullible kid, to say the least. Yeah, it didn't take really much to get me to believe your stories. So for the time being, I think I'm just going to kind of focus on Ninja Turtle toys in particular, and I might cover the series, how it had an impact on my childhood back in the day, in another video. But another kind of sad story that I did, yeah, I guess you guys can tell I was kind of a dumb kid, is I sold all my Ninja Turtles for literally $1 a piece. Yes, I am not kidding you. My mom used to tell me all the time, she says, don't sell your Ninja Turtle toys. Keep them, because one of these days they're going to be collector's items, or at the very least nostalgic to you. So you shouldn't sell them just for $1 each. But of course, you know me, back in the day as a kid, I'm going to say I was, gosh, 9 years old maybe. I didn't have a lot of money, so if I saw like an NES game I really wanted or something, I had no choice but to sell Ninja Turtle toys. I had an allowance, but I think I got like maybe $3 a week. So in order to buy a new Nintendo game, that probably be the equivalent of like 3 or 4 months, because Nintendo games were expensive back then. They were like $50 to $60. So I remember I went outside one day, and I've sat there in front of our driveway, put a little table out, put all my Ninja Turtles out, and I put like a little sign there that said $1 each. And I did get some of the kids in there, because we had a lot of kids in the neighborhood back in the day, which sadly isn't true anymore. But they all came, and yeah, they all bought my Ninja Turtle games. And I remember I used that money to buy 2 games. Life Force on the NES, which if you remember my PlayStation 4 news video a few days ago, how sad that was. And I also bought Contra on the NES. That was a fantastic game. And yeah, I sold my Ninja Turtle toys for those 2 games, which I think I got for like $5 each, $10 each from my neighbors. So it wasn't like that bad of a deal. But considering how a lot of those Ninja Turtle toys now are worth a lot of money, it probably wasn't the best deal I could have made. And I really, really, really wanted the Technodrome and Krang, but I never had a chance to get them. And to this day, I'm not even sure how much of my Ninja Turtles I have left. I still have my original Donatello. Gotta have Donnie, of course. Represent. But all the others, yeah, I think most of them were sold. I have like maybe Casey Jones still. what the heck is that lizard called that was dressed like a 90s skateboarder stereotype? I can't remember his name. But not a whole lot of them. I might still have that shredder that Sid ripped me off of a long time ago, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's just a little snippet of the way Ninja Turtle toys were for me growing up as a kid. Definitely something that was kind of mixed for me. I loved it, but I didn't have the best history with it, I guess, to say the least. So let me know something, especially to you guys who are from maybe the younger generation. Do you guys like Ninja Turtles? It's certainly different than it was back in the day when I was growing up. Are you into them at all? Have you seen some of the older Ninja Turtles? Do you not even care for Ninja Turtles? Let me know. And as always, anime gamers, we must forge our own path. Anything is possible. Thanks for watching.